Like a 5-5 just sounds like a pro. They don't even have 6-0 to 7. They can't even describe how good they are because 5-5 has already described the perfect tennis player. Hey guys, what's up? So we need to talk about this super serious issue that has plagued the YouTube tennis community. I don't know. This is something I'd never been exposed to as like a competitive national player growing up and a college player until I started watching some more YouTube videos of just people playing tennis. And then you always get these haters that go on a video and are like, oh, hey, you're not a 5-0. You look more like a 3-5. And it's like, okay, well, why does this happen, right? So I want to talk about the problems with NTRP. Not that I have a solution or anything, but I'm gonna talk about from my perspective about why this is an issue. And the first issue is wording. If you look at this wording on the NTRP guidelines, I guess, for USPTA or for USTA, some of this wording is very, very ambiguous, and it largely depends on who's looking at the wording. So from my background, moderate pace is like probably very, very different than what they mean by moderately paced play at the 4-0 level, right? I think at a college level, my shots are moderately paced. I play a 4-0 and they think I'm hitting bullets. Okay, so there's already a problem there where it goes, I'm just going to use 4-0 as an example, saying they have dependable strokes with directional control and ability to alter the depth of shot on both forehand and backhand sides during moderately paced play. So like, it all goes back to what moderately paced play means, and also like what ball is coming at them, right? Is a moderately paced shot like a Fed ball that's not a push? Nobody really knows this. So by this description, if we go by the ATP tour, like David Ferrer hits a moderately paced ball. His ball's not big, right? It makes it look like this player that they're describing right here is David Ferrer, basically. So yeah, this is a very misleading word usage. Like moderately paced here and here and here, they all mean completely different things, and whoever's looking at this list, they're either looking up or down, and it's a big problem, especially for people that are self-proclaimed tennis experts who can tell what other people's NTRP is just by looking at the level. And like, see here, like a 5-5 just sounds like a pro. They don't even have 6-0 to 7. They can't even describe how good they are because 5-5 has already described the perfect tennis player. like for example, right? I would say I was a 12-5 UTR when I was playing college tennis. So let's say that's 5-5. I'm gonna be somewhere in between 5-5 and 6, right? Just based off my UTR, for anybody that wants to argue. But I would say if I played a 4-5, there is not a 4-5 in the world that can beat me if I only slice the ball with my backhand. So does that say during that match that I was a 4-5 player if I don't hit a single backhand? because then I'm not varying the pace and spins. I'm only hitting a slice backhand, and yeah, I would not lose to any 4-5s out there, just because the rest of my game, right? So, but that's not to say that during that match I'm a 4-5 player, you know. Also, other things like this player tends to overhit on difficult shots is a very interesting thing to put in there, because the wording of this is very weird as well. You take a player like that Ukrainian, the Gopolov, yeah, him. He overhits on he hits every shot as hard as he can, and we can say that he overhits. But he's not a 4-5, that's for sure. Maybe he overhits compared to Djokovic. He hits every ball as hard as he can, and I think as a tennis community we can sort of agree that that's usually not the way to go, but he got so good at it that he was he had a high ATP ranking, I think top 40 at some point, right? And we can also say that most of the time Monfils just plays this game right here, moderately paced with a cat and mouse, running down balls, not going for anything, Would that match be a 4-0 match? Just all very ambiguous wording. So if you see two 5-5s players with very aggressive play style, you will not see long rallies, because aggressive here is very different than aggressive here. Here, a player who hits big and serves big and does not want a lot of rallies will have the pace to somewhat back it up, right? And on the flip side, the other person dealing with that will have to deal with all that pace, and sometimes missed shots which might look like unforced errors on video, are not unforced errors simply because of the pace of the ball, the heaviness of the ball, having no rhythm because you're playing someone that just plays so aggressive. You don't have time to get your own rhythm. So that's just a very strange way to word some of these things. But of course, like a lot of the people that are very experienced in tennis, in competition, like at the national level, at the college level, they'll read these all with a grain of salt, right? Kind of being able to gauge, what they really mean at some point. But a lot of people will read this and take them at completely face value, where I get comments like on other videos, not on my own, because I don't have enough views for people to comment yet. So sad. Anyway, that's beside the point. Where I've read comments on, maybe there was a 5-0 playing a 5-5, and I read a comment saying 4-0 means 120 mile an hour serve and good ground strokes. And this person literally just read, this player occasionally forces errors while serving, and he just assumed, that guy must be 4-0s must be able to serve 120 miles an hour. Like what the heck, that's a more extreme example, but it was there. I saw it. I would go pull it up, but man, I would have to look through I could probably find similar stuff to that. Yeah. I've also seen matches where it was a guy who had at least 1 or 2 ATP points because he was top 1,500, and this was before the transition tour. And he was playing like a guy who rated himself as a 5-0. I never really checked on the site. I don't even know how to check NTRP online, honestly, because like most players that grew up in the situation I did, playing college national tournaments, we don't even look up NTRP. We only have to self-rate when people that play League ask us what we are. But anyway, yeah, he was playing a guy who was rated himself 5-0, and this guy, 2 ATP points, pretty good, probably like a 6, very very least a 5-5, right? And this guy comments saying, "Oh, too many errors. This match is a 3-0 match." And at that point, I'm just face palming out of my mind because how do you take a guy with ATP points and say that the match quality is 3-0? And I said, hey man, that's it's kind of insulting, It's insulting to call this guy a 3-0 when he's clearly a very good player and put so much work into it. And the guy's response to me is, 3-0 means fairly consistent. This match was not very consistent. Therefore, this match was a 3-0 match. What do I even do there? How do I explain shot quality? How do I explain heaviness, forced errors, play style, the opponent's skill level being a driving factor of how much pressure you have when you hit each ball? How do I explain that to somebody that just will read this and go, oh yeah, 3-0, fairly consistent? I would say John Isner is not consistent compared to Djokovic, but he gets the job done. I wouldn't say he's 3-0. Right, and what's medium paced? I don't even know. But yeah, that match that with the guy with ATP points, he was just hitting way too big for the 5-0 player to deal with. So that resulted in like a lot of return errors, which I would all say were forced because he clearly couldn't deal with the pace, and first ball misses just because the 5-0, anytime he got anything slightly slower, he would just go for a shot and miss a lot of the time because he knew if he just got it in, he would be, his back would be against the wall right away. So like coming from like a coach perspective, a college coach perspective, and a player perspective, like I can kind of see that, right? But like from like the general public who's watching these YouTube videos and just commenting on something they really don't have much experience looking at, because they read on a site, and a very official site, there's nothing wrong with this site, that 3-0s are fairly consistent, and they just go and apply that to every single match, not knowing the intricacies of each match and kind of generally how tennis works. It kind of drives me. I've had to tell myself, okay, look, public is just like that with any subject. It's not just tennis, but that's such a big problem with NTRP and having them describe a style, like each style of game is like each level. So yeah, just one very clear example, and I'm not bashing on this player. It's just facts. Look at Steve Johnson, 4-time NCAA champion. He's an insane player, top 100 ATP. I know some idiot's gonna compare him to Federer and say he sucks, or like compare him to Djokovic or whatever. Dude, I don't care. This guy compared to anyone is a good tennis player. A great forehand, great serve, insane backhand slice. But he never hits his backhand, ever, almost never. That's just not his shot of choice, and you can argue that he needs to get a better backhand to be in the top 10, but that's not the point, right? This whole thing is the point. This wording is the point. He never hits a backhand, but he's a 6'5". He's a 6'5" to 7-0 player. But if we put his play style and skill sets, he will land some random place down here having almost never hit backhands, and only in desperate situations in which he misses a lot of them just because that's the situation that he's in, that he has to hit a shot he would rather not hit. Like he would choose his slice every time. But yeah, this is not bagging on Stevie's backhand or anything, because he's an incredible player. But that's wording here. Like, the fact that you can even make an argument for any player to be in any of these categories, depending on what the perspective you're looking at is from, is a huge issue with NTRP. And I'm not saying there's something better, because like for people like, you know, me and my friends that play a little bit more competitively, this is just the league rating. But to some people, this is their lifeblood, man. They really care about this stuff, and they go on YouTube and go crazy judging every little video out there. It's mind-boggling. And sometimes when I see someone say that a 6-0 player or 5-5 player is a 3-0, I feel so bad. I just have to comment and say, like, bro, don't insult the guy's hard work, please. Not to say that 3-0s don't work hard, but to get to a 5-5, to get ATP points, you have had to make sacrifices, man. No matter how talented you might have been, you've had to make sacrifices, and you had to have been out there grinding away. Everyone has had to do it. Even Kyrgios, who claims he doesn't practice at all. Maybe now he doesn't, but I guarantee you, as a junior, he was putting hours on the court. And yeah, that's just what it is. That's my biggest issue with the NTRP, and its wording, right? So I hope you guys, have some thoughts about this. I would like to hear them down in the comment section. You can tell me I'm wrong. It's my opinion. You have an opinion as well. But this is really what it is. You have to consider the ball coming to you, who's across the net, who's forcing errors, and hopefully this was very thought-provoking and eye-opening to some of you. And please help me out by hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. I'm trying to put out some, a little bit more like not so obvious tennis content all the time. No videos like how to play like Federer in 3 easy steps, because we know that's not possible, right? You can copy the swing, but even then your swing's not going to look like his, and it's not going to function anywhere as well. So I'm always trying to put out stuff that I think will actually be a little bit more effective, and things that maybe people aren't always posting about, and it's a little hard to find. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of rant about the NTRP rating system. And as always, enjoy your day. Peace out.